Oh my god, what is going on?
I just felt so unwelcome.
I'm in London Heathrow Terminal 4 for the first time in 4 years, and I'm about to get on Etihad's first class suites apartments to Abu Dhabi. First though, let's go check out the lounge. I'll talk to you a little more from there. Can we see my aircraft? We're at the gate. I'm so confused. Apparently the gate, the lounge is there, but there's just a construction wall. Found it.
Here's a 20-second lounge walkthrough. Unfortunately, the London lounge is really starting to show some wear and tear, so I wasn't very impressed. Okay, I just left the lounge. Let's go to the gate. Okay, there's already a bunch of lines. I think I'll just talk to you and tell you everything once I'm on board. I can't wait to see it. I've never seen any product this luxurious in real life, as far as I can think of, so let's check it out.
Hello, how are you? Good. You're very welcome on board. Actually, we'll take you to your suite, right?
Very good afternoon. Good afternoon, right?
Yes.
Welcome on board. Alex is my name. And you already have the champagne. Yes.
Alex, the onboard chef, was the true highlight of the flight. He provided fantastic, authentic service, which was quite different from the rest of the crew. I'll talk more about that shortly.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. Please, thank you.
Okay, I think this is the first time I've ever boarded a plane and been completely speechless. I just don't know what to say. Like, this is absolutely insane. And just listen for a second. Firstly, I'm glad this music isn't copyrighted, but listen to the music. This Etihad boarding music I've listened so much to at home that I know it by heart. Like, it's kind of weird to be on board an Etihad plane and be listening to this music because I'm like, wait, this doesn't belong here. So since it's Ramadan, the alcohol is not served by the seat. They bring it out to you, and I also have a little bit of Arabic coffee, dates, my Wi-Fi code, and a hot towel on this beautiful little tray. So the problem with trying to review this is it's not really like reviewing an airline seat. It's like reviewing a private jet. Like, this is seriously, wow, okay. So I just got a tour myself from the flight attendants. I'm very new to this seat, so I might find some new things as we go around. But here is the tray table, as I said. Then there's a little cute light here, which we can adjust. All the in-flight magazines and literature over there, and a huge TV up ahead. Then of course, I mean, you've all seen the seat before, I assume. So right here we have the bed, or this turns into the bed. So there's a blanket, there's my pajamas and headphones. The doors will close later on, of course. And then right here we have our USB ports, HDMI, headphones, another charging down here, and the remote. Then if we look here, there's a little storage compartment, which I'll actually go ahead and put my phone in for now. And then here are the seat controls. Let's also put down my Wi-Fi codes. Awesome that we get free Wi-Fi in first class. I do have to comment about this champagne though. It tastes delicious, but compared to Cathay Pacific first class, this is, you know, not the same league. So this costs, from what I could tell online, $64 a bottle, while the Krug that they serve on Cathay costs over $300 a bottle, so almost 5 times more. Although, I mean, it really depends on what you value. For me, I don't take a flight just for the champagne, and as you can see, this seat, you know, is quite a motivation for taking a flight or choosing Etihad over other carriers. Let's have a look at the first class menus, starting with the drinks. That's it.
Only 1,000 feet, which is around 13 kilometers above the sea level.
So one thing I find so interesting.
This aircraft, we're going to Abu Dhabi. Thank you.
Okay, so one thing I find so interesting in this, I noted in my economy week of Etihad that I did last year, the crews on Etihad, at least the ones that I've had, are always entirely European and African. There's no Asians. Well, if you go on Emirates and Qatar, the crew is almost entirely Asian. So I find it so interesting that there's this ethnic background difference between the crews of these three otherwise very similar airlines. So if you know the reason for that, why they hire other crowds, or if it's just a coincidence, please let me know down below. You guys know I don't drink so much, so that champagne actually made me quite drowsy. I'm just sitting here looking out the window. It started raining. I'm just like, whoa, I want to go to sleep. Oh my god, what is going on? Okay, let's look out the window and enjoy the beautiful rain that has hit London. Growing up here, I know that rain is definitely not uncommon, but it's very cozy when you're sitting in a first class apartment and you can just look at the A380's like slanted window and see the rain trickle down it. It's so awesome. Okay, I don't know if you could tell already, but I'm sitting backwards.
As we departed London for Abu Dhabi, I learned that our flight only had about 200 passengers on board, which isn't so great for an A380.
You can have the map and the camera side by side. Let me continue showing you guys the seat because I forgot to show you some parts. There's a little storage drawer on this side, and then down here's the mini bar where we have some Cokes, Sprite, and water. Too small, but quite comfy. Oof. The canopies have been served with the cocktail I ordered, and yes, they have special canopies just for me, I think, which is awesome.
So I know I seem very impressed so far, but there were a few drawbacks. I will mention them later in the video, but one thing is that Etihad's entertainment system is really disappointing, especially compared to the competitors Qatar and Emirates, who have the best systems in the world. So I mentioned there was free Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, it was so slow I couldn't load a single picture on Instagram, so it's pretty much pointless.
It's by Fitech or Fitech.
Okay, these really are very, very, very noise cancelling.
all I can say about this is that the presentation is just truly incredible. I'm starting here with the Arabic mezza, and this is just stunning. The whole table layout, even the juice is stunning with small pieces of mint still in it, the bread. This is truly, truly exquisite. So I love mezza and Arabic food, and I've spent 10 days traveling around Oman, 10 days in Jordan, 5 days in Lebanon, like about 10 days too in the UAE. So I've spent a lot of time in the Middle East comparatively. And this, I can probably say with quite a strong confidence, is the best mezza I've ever had. And it's on a plane. I can't believe it. I've traveled everywhere in search for baba ganoush that's this good, and this is just really next level baba ganoush right here. Okay, so it turns out this palate cleanser is entirely vegan. That's so cool. It's like a little ice cream. I guess it's a sorbet, right? That's awesome. Pause it. Right between the palate cleanser and this main course, something very bad happened with the crew that completely changed my perception of the flight. So from here on out, you won't hear me talk, you won't see me that much on video, and I'll explain why in another video next week. Overall, I will say the catering on Etihad was quite impressive in my opinion. It wasn't the best I've had, but I'd say maybe top 6, and it helped to have a chef on board who could really customize things. Here's a look at the amenity kit and its contents, which were quite decent, although I'm not a huge fan of individually packaging everything in plastic. So now for perhaps one of the most spectacular things about this suite, the separate bed. Now this is very flashy and nice, and just like Singapore Airlines, it is very cool to have a separate bed. However, I found it to be extremely hard on Etihad. Now I know if you're used to Thai beds or whatever, that won't be a problem, but in Sweden people like their beds super soft. Also, the seat itself is very firm and extremely upright. You can't even recline it that much, so you're sitting at kind of a very awkward angle, even for working on a laptop or something when you're in the seat. But I will say, this suite nails the coziness. Also, something not many people know is that Etihad, just like Emirates, actually has showers on their A380. They have one shower for first class passengers, but I won't tell you how it was because I'm making a separate video about it. So make sure you're subscribed to see when that comes out. So this is the pajamas. It's super comfy. So I got some pre-landing French fries and carrot juice. Alright, so get ready for some concluding thoughts and especially my review of the service. As I hinted at earlier in the video, I wasn't so satisfied with the service on Etihad. Firstly, 4 different people were serving me, which definitely is not a first class experience. Just think, if you go to a restaurant for example, you have usually one waiter who you get to know, who really becomes friendly with you, so it just didn't feel at all as personal. Not only that, but the crew in a way almost felt scared. There was this very strong feeling of inauthenticity and like the crew wasn't really loving what they're doing, which is totally not what I'm used to on these Middle Eastern airlines, where I almost always find the service to be incredibly enthusiastic and excited. The crew also didn't come by my seat and ask how the flight was before landing. There was no goodbye, no personal thank you, nothing like that, which is also quite surprising for first class.
Also, not that I really mind, but the purser called me Daniel throughout the flight instead of my surname, and he didn't even ask me what I wanted to be called. Maybe because I was young or something, but I just found that a little bit weird. However, I haven't even mentioned the worst part, and I'm actually going to leave that as well to a dedicated video coming up next week. So make sure you are subscribed because this will get interesting. This heat is absolutely insane. It's so humid and so hot. I feel like my blood is boiling from the heat. Like, whoa. After an overnight in Abu Dhabi, it was time for my connecting flight to Muscat, and I'm not going to include that in this review, but I want to show you the first class lounge in Abu Dhabi, which was almost my favorite part of the experience. The service there was impeccable. There was a beautiful spa, fantastic a la carte dining with plenty of customization. I told them I was vegan and they made like special meals for me. It was just fantastic. I really, really liked spending time there. So overall, the service is such a big deal for me, and leaving the flight feeling like I wasn't super satisfied with that was such a shame, because now in hindsight, I'm really not that in love with Etihad first class. I can't put my finger on whether it was the crew or the layout of the seat or something, but I just felt this unwelcoming vibe, which I still don't really understand. So sure, the seat is impressive, the food is great, and of course I'd fly it again given the chance, but there is so much competition from Emirates and Qatar with their fantastic business class that I'm just not sure I'd go out of my way just for this product. But I hope you all enjoyed the video, and until I see you all next time, fly safe.